Hey guys, this is Steve Crawford, obviously, coming to you from the very glamorous Experience Wealth boardroom. What I thought I'd do was, apart from just go through the video, the presentation that I did at the recent IFA Innovation Summit around how video's killing the face-to-face star, I'm actually doing a video on how to do the video using Camtasia and all that sort of stuff together. So you've got a few things. You've got the video that's being recorded on this Camtasia screen. So that's screencasting. You've then got the old school phone recording, and I'm going to strip the audio out of the phone recording one so that all you're basically seeing is the video. You can see our light setting up over there. Sorry for just blinding everybody. And I've also got my little mobile light over here. I haven't got this guy on today, but that's my little Sony light. You can see he's got a little, let's get him out. Here we go. There's your little color setting there so that it looks different. Soft glow, this guy needs as much natural light as he can. And then here's our magnificent Rode Podcaster. You can see that there as well. And you notice that when I turn that around, the audio dropped. So there's one of your first tips. Make sure that the microphone is pointing to you where the speaker is, not the other side. And there's a little blue light. You can see it there. Yeah, dumbass me, forgot that the first couple of times I was doing a podcast, and I realized that I was talking to the back of the microphone. Super smart. Anyway, so today is all about the actual video itself and how we're going to use it in our advice practices to deliver our advice to our clients, not just about marketing. So I'm going to bail out of this guy. I'm going to come to the screen now, and we're going to go into screencast mode for the rest of this video. And at the end, obviously, if you want any more information, you can reach out, find me on LinkedIn, visit the website, thexyacademy.com. Subscribe to my podcast would be amazing. The robos are coming. And you can check out any of my courses as well on the xyacademy.com and click on the courses tab. See ya. Well, I'm back. I don't even know why I said see ya. Haven't gone anywhere. So we're currently sitting in sort of presentation, well, not even in full presentation mode. So typically what you're trying to do when you're doing one of these is make sure everything's set up first, right? So if you are going to be talking to a microphone and a camera, make sure you got your audio input the right way. So you can't see it because my screen won't bring up the Camtasia option, a little window down the bottom, but you can do little demos on it. Make sure you've got your input settings right. On your frame rate on your video as well, you'd want it going at 30 frames per second. Anything less than that, and it's really slow when it comes through. Always default to widescreen because that's how people watch stuff on their phones these days, is in widescreen mode. So if you put your camera on and it defaults to a square or a 4:3 setting, don't. You got to flick it back to a 16:9. Now, obviously, if you're recording on your phone and it's automatically widescreen, you're fine. But if you're recording on something like I am now, which is this Logitech camera, high HD, 1080p, that's amazing, but it doesn't transfer really well into what you're recording. So get the technical stuff down pat, get your lighting set right. You can probably see on the right-hand side, I'm imagining this side of my face is well lit and this side not so much. I wouldn't normally be using this light in here. I'd have my little desktop one sitting, further down, maybe sitting down below and aimed up this way to try and get even lighting across the two. Audio is your big deal though as well. So lighting and audio are the two things. The rest of it, at the end of the day, if your content's no good, you're in a lot of trouble. But assuming you get your content bit right, then you're going to get shot from, having crappy audio, crappy lighting. Camtasia, the software itself, super, super easy to use. And there's a million tutorials on that. So I'm going to get stuck into the presentation now. I'm going to smush my head down, and I'm doing that in Camtasia, and we're going to get stuck into the actual presentation itself. So let me just do this. Yep, too many presentations. Oh, there we go. We're in. All right. So presentation mode. There's me hanging out at my granny flat while I'm doing my renos, and clearly I don't care what I look like, right? some days you're going to look a little bit better than others, and it really depends on what you're trying to do. I think the thing about video, it allows you to be real with your clients all the time. And I think quite often, and I was definitely, I suppose, prone to this at the start, you try and stage manage everything. I want to put on this amazing performance, and a lot of our marketing videos are that. I'm a huge advocate these days of, I have been for a while, and I don't believe I was so worried to do it at the start. Authenticity. People want to see you. They want to hear you. They want to talk to you. So if you're doing such a great job on the marketing front using your videos, why would you then leave your advice process to be all face-to-face stuff only? And that's basically what the guts of my talk to you guys and my video is to you today. And hopefully this is a demonstration of this. Yes, it's technically a marketing video because I'm not actually delivering advice to you, but the way I'm talking to you now is like you are literally sitting in front of me. Like I'm talking to one of you one-on-one, not 5 of you or however many of you end up watching this video. So you just got to relax into it. The more you do, the more comfortable you're going to be. And I definitely believe that it's going to add an enormous amount of value to your advice process, your practice, your clients' lives, everything like that. So what I've done is I've flipped it into this front and then back end. So initial and then ongoing entertainment schedule. And then the backdrop to this was me talking at the IFA day about the FANGs coming to take over your business. And this is Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, and Google. And Amazon's coming with the banking and spending side. And Netflix they're not coming after us, but they're changing the service game. Right? They've because of Netflix, as I said it on the presentation, because of Netflix, I can now watch what I want, when I want, where I want, on my phone, on my tablet, on my laptop. So the shackles have been removed in terms of where people get to consume content. And I think content is key here, right? So what you deliver should be content. It's tailored individual content. Yes, you're doing marketing content, but there's no reason why you can't deliver your advice engagements content in the same way that Netflix would. Meaning that clients should be given an option sometimes to consume your content virtually via video. And then sometimes you can say, absolutely has to be done face-to-face. But if the client has the option to choose between the three, virtual, video, and face-to-face, you should give them the option every time. If that's their preferred learning method, if that's how they want to communicate with you. So what I'm going through here is our initial advice process and which is video and which is not video. So we've got our initial phone call. So let's say, right, referral through. Typically, 99% of these are client referrals. We structure a phone call. Behind this, there's 2 other pieces of software you've got to be running. Online calendar booking software is critical these days. And I'm talking about a Gen XY cohort. Maybe not so much for the baby boomers and the retirees, but definitely for your Gen XYs. Online calendar booking software, got to be done. Virtual meeting software, got to be done. If you don't have those 2, you're not in the game. I don't care how good your advice offer is. You're just not going to get the biggest opportunity when the only way you can communicate is old school email and face-to-face. It's just not going to cut it anymore because they're mobile. They're just 2 very mobile generations. So we go from a phone call into our pre-goal planning session video. Now this video we created, this is a non-negotiable. So this has taken sort of 8 or 9 years for us to get the confidence to do this every single time. And I was on a coaching call this morning with another advisor who's looking to implement something like this. And one of their questions and fears was around explaining the fees up front and what if I scare people off. I'm not saying that you need to do this across the board. I think it's progressive, right? The best thing I know about one of the really good things of video, you can do it again and again and again to get your best version. So if you could deliver your best pitch to a client every single time, wouldn't you want to do that? So if you can deliver your best pitch in a video, it's not designed to replace the entire front-end process, but enough so that your consistent key messages are delivered. It short-circuits your process because the people that buy into your purpose, philosophy, and process will move through into the next step of the process. Those that aren't on board will probably exit, and you saved yourself a whole heap of time. So we send this video to our clients. I think it's about 10 to 15 minutes. It's me sitting out on our couch, which is the video, the setting that I use for my courses. It's the setting that I use for my 60 seconds with Steve videos. It's obviously a little bit more production set than this, but it doesn't need to be. You can do it in different ways. It's completely up to you. But that's non-negotiable. That goes out every single time. So they don't get to have this introductory meeting anymore. It's a video. So phone call, 15 to 30 minutes on the phone. Then they go to the video. From there, they go to our goal planning session. The goal planning session is either live or face-to-face. That's their choice. $220 will help you map out your goals, identify what your values are, work through your wish list to your goals board, into your identify what you think is going to go to your action plan, and then move to advice. Right. So from this stage, now we're getting into our setup. Money and mortgage management plan is the budgeting, cash flow, banking, lending component of what we do. And obviously it's a big part of what we do. Lifestyle protection and retirement plan, which is risk and super and estate planning. And then your goal action plan, which is more of your strategic based advice in there. They can choose what they want to do out of each of the three of these. Typically, we get all three. Definitely 1 and 2. So money and mortgage management plan, yes. Lifestyle protection and retirement plan, yes. And then the goal action plan will be dependent on how many goals they're working towards at the moment. One of the things we do in the lifestyle protection plan, which we love, is we deliver that prep meeting as a video to the clients. Sometimes we'll let them do it face-to-face if that's what they want to do, but our preference is to actually deliver this as a video because it serves as a compliance tool for us as well. So this is going through our insurance philosophy. How did we help you work out how much cover you need to the, what do we call it? The target sum insured, or the max potential insurable amount. There we go. I'm remembering my own language. Then they choose their target insurable amount, which is, here's how much we've recommended. Here's how much we will be recommending. Do you want to have less than that or 100% of that? And then they go to target. And then from there, we go to our insurer selection process. So the video walks through our process and how we got to that, the calculation that sits behind that. And it also then runs through how do we select our insurers. Now, we're not making a full recommendation, but by the time we get to statement of advice, there's no questions around how did you come up with the sums insured? Can we afford it inside super? Can we afford our outside super premiums? How have you chosen insurer A over insurer B? All of that sort of stuff. Then we go into our new one, which is our statement of advice video. So we're using these for initial statements of advice and annual reviews now. And I think this is one of the big things, and I'll talk about this in a second, is delivering on this having no risk around fee for no service. So I'm going to show you 2 examples of these in this video itself. And then we go to statement of advice. From an ongoing point of view, clients get weekly snapshots, monthly reports, quarterly progress meetings, and then that annual wealth plan review. From a weekly and a monthly point of view, sometimes we'll send our weekly snapshots to our clients, which is around the spending and saving stuff. And you can do this using Xero, Moneysoft, MyProsperity, any of the cash flow tools that are out there. And it's basically a month-to-date budget versus actual report around the 4 or 5 key spending categories where most clients tend to stuff up. Typically, this is sent to them in an email with an image, pushed into the email, and off they go. Sometimes there's more commentary that gets added around it. Sometimes they get a video, which is me talking to the screen, or Willow, my business partner, talking to the screen, going, hey, Bob and Wendy, your numbers are pretty shit. In the nicest possible way, might want to keep an eye on that. You said you wanted to save X dollars per month because you were working towards Y goal. If you keep doing what you're doing, you're not going to hit it, and our quarterly progress meeting is going to suck. So have a great weekend, bye, right? So you can sort of make this really punchy, 30 to 60 seconds. Like, you don't need to overcook this stuff, says the guy who's banging on at length in a video. Quarterly progress meeting and annual reviews are the 2 that I'm going to focus on. And the quarterly progress meeting is actually quite often a what if video. So this is where we're pulling the client's actual numbers out of the system. Now, for us, we're still using Xero, but as I said, love Moneysoft, love MyProsperity. You can do that in either of these 3 systems. Check out the Your Spending Coach course to find out more. Subtle plug, there we go. Using our budgeting and cash flow program, this is a real live video from a client that I've smooshed together. Now, I did this in Camtasia as well. Recorded it in Camtasia, sent it to the clients, and in the video that you're watching, I've edited in Camtasia and smooshed, so it only goes for about a minute, so it's nice and quick. Now, there's no audio that's running here. What you're hearing is me, because I stripped the audio out. I recorded it using my podcast mic. I've got two. I've got one at home and then one for the office. You don't need to drop this much money. I mean, you can use your headphone mics. They don't sound very good. I've got these in because I listen to how I sound, and I've got my Rode podcast now. I won't sound very good. My podcaster setting set neutral so I can get the tone and the balance and all that sort of stuff. So this is your actual quarterly progress meeting. There's no audio in this. It's me just talking to you now. Now in the actual client video, there's audio, and I'm using my podcast mic. I've got two. I've got this one here. I've got one at home, but you can see I've got my audio setting neutral between system audio and podcast audio. This is an actual report that we produce for our clients. It pulls their live data out of Xero or MoneySoft or MyProsperity, showing them their actual results and then answering their questions. So they wanted to know if they could spend $1.2 million on a renovation. And this is me answering that using numbers. Now, I'm not obviously giving them formal advice here. This is sort of high level stuff. And at the end of the day, from a compliance point of view, still do what you need to do for it to tick in your boxes. What I'm showing you is how you can use video to do this, to answer things that traditionally would have only ever been done live in front of a client. I had the phone call and then I was responding to it within 45 minutes. I had a window that I could do some spare stuff, but I knew then I was going to be off the grid for like 3 or 4 days. So I could get back to them super quick. These guys loved it so much. They sent me a video. They sent me an email saying, we're actually watching this on the big screen TV, which is pretty funny to see that something we've produced is something that they're going to watch on the big screen TV. This is one of the other ones, which is our annual review wealth plan video. And you can see here, like Willow did this one. He doesn't even care that it's not in full screen mode. He just records stuff and goes. We think from an obligations point of view, and we checked all of this with our clients so we could show you this, right? So they have no issue sharing this. They're more than happy because they said, we love what you guys do. We're happy if other advisors did what you did. We're going to show you how it works. Or we're happy for you to show them how it works. So this is something that Chris delivers. This is your changed in your sums insured. This is what you've already got. This is what we think you need. Do you want to plug the gap? Now, if they go from there and go, yes, we do, then we go to statement of advice or record of advice, depending on which licensee you're with. We tend to go full statement of advice just because that's the way we do things. We're using DocuSign behind the scenes to, confirm stuff, tick a box. But these are two videos that they're in their entirety go for a total of, my video went for like 12 minutes. Willow's went for like 10. I've smushed them down so they run high speed for a minute for you guys. But you can just, you do different things in different ways. Your clients will love you for it. You're the boss though, so you've got to choose which types of videos are always going to be delivered via video, which things are never going to be delivered via video, and when it's a client choice. In terms of your stack and what you're going to need, you can see a couple of images here. I showed you to my potty. I've got the Logitech camera rocking up there that I'm talking to you guys through. That's my setting out there, which you can't see now, but I've got that ring light, best thing we ever bought. The camera sitting in that. That's my HD camera, which I'm not using today. I'm just using the Logitech camera. Copyright-free images and sounds. You don't want to be ever getting pinged on that. And your webcam, and that should be it. And then you obviously need Camtasia, something to edit stuff in. And that's my point, guys. You just need to get started, right? Don't pick little bits and pieces of what you're going to deliver to your clients. You need to map out your client engagement process, initial and then ongoing. You need to choose what can be delivered via video versus what can't. And then, really challenge that. Go internally from a compliance point of view, and then get it. Most important one, ask your clients. If you could consume this from us 3 ways, face-to-face, virtual, and video, what would be your preference? And sometimes they're going to go, it could be all 3. And then let them pick. Just get started, right? It's not as hard as you think. There's loads of tutorials out there, especially around how to use things like podcast mics and Camtasia software and all that sort of jazz. Don't freak out. Just get started. And if you want any help, let me know. I'd love you to subscribe to my mailing list because I'm going to keep producing more and more of these free videos around how to do stuff as well. So you'll get those in your inbox every week or so. If you've liked the video, Hopefully you've liked the video. That's it for me. I'll talk to you later. Bye.